Ava's family and how they feel. I flip this script because I read comments on Facebook on either side. And I looked at my husband and said, are we going to put our child in that school? Because some of the comments were horrendous. I am a black woman. I'm not American. My husband is. I had a little girl, albeit a mother admitted she didn't handle it well. She didn't handle it in the right way. I get it. But my thought process was, I had people learn to call her a nigger. And I'm going to be frank. And I read both sides. A hood rat. Her mama didn't raise her right. Let's do this to her. And my thought process went to, what happens to my kid if he gets in a fight in this middle school? Am I going to deal with people sending messages, going on his social media, making threats to him? I'm sorry, I don't know what's in your school. I haven't investigated what type of restorative sessions, so on and so forth, and I realize this will happen over a 2-day period. But I'm asking the board, the principal, the superintendent, if you don't have restorative sessions, please get them in place. If you don't have lifespan interviews when kids have problems, because at the end of the day, my daughter's 23, my son's 26, Lord children, my stepchildren, these kids are going to have issues. And unless when we deal with the issues, we bring those kids together, we talk about what happened, how we could have handled it different, and what we're going to do going forward, we will constantly be in this situation over and over again. And we're talking about 10-year-old kids. I feel for Ava, she's 10 years old. But I also, after all this social media blitz, I also feel for the other kid. Because I wouldn't bring her back here. Because I wouldn't know if I dropped her off, what's going to happen to my baby. So just like I understand where you all are coming from, it's like the board president said, there are details, and me being a principal, and I have an administrative role, you have to dig into all of the facts. And only then can you make an informed decision. All of this stuff that hits social media, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was wrong. It was dead wrong. Because we're talking about kids here. Minors being splashed all over social media. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm from Bermuda. I had a girlfriend of mine send me a message and say, what the devil's going on in your area? And I said, how do you get it? Because I'm your friend, and somebody's a friend of your friend, and it's going all over the place. We got to find a way as adults. How do we deal with it? Because when we're angry, what we put out, our kids put out. That's all I have to say.
And that, can I say something? And that happens because of a lack of, you know, the school board doing anything or the school doing anything. So then parents then feel that you want to protect your children in any situation. And I completely, 100% agree with you. That should have been handled. And because it was not handled, this is why it went to social media.
Okay, let me just say this to you.
And this is why everyone is here
Let
tonight.
me say this to you. When we talk about the way things are handled, again, I'm going to tell you, I've been teaching for 25 years. Okay?
I've been a parent too.
Sometimes how we want it to be handled is not the way it is handled, or we feel it appropriate, then our emotions take over our logic.
No, I won't put my child's safety in front of my
Let me
emotions.
finish.
No,
Let me finish.
that's not.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is, I don't know what information the principal had. I don't know what information the superintendent had. My biggest concern as a parent would be, Mrs. Burke, I'm sorry, Ms. Loren, moving forward, how do we solve the situation between these two kids?
Exactly. That was my first question.
How do we solve the situation between those young boys?
That was my first question. I said, if you don't have policies in place, then what is your plan?
They have.
What is your plan?
Listen to what I'm saying. They have policies.
Cell phone
No, they
policies.
don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. There's no policies.
And that's the big
Is
concern.
there a cell phone policy?
Regardless of.
Maybe.
Okay, but let me just say this, 'cause
I don't know, the
if
kids are
you-
posting
if they don't
YouTube
have
all day.
cell phone policies, they do, that's not the issue. My
There's no
concern
policies.
as a teacher, as a parent, is every kid in this school.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
My stepson coming
Yes.
forward,
Yes,
how can I bring him here, not knowing if something occurs, it's gonna go all over the place, and then what will happen to my child, just like you all concerned what's gonna happen to your child.
right.
Emotions are involved. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a parent that if somebody did something to my kid, I was at the school 24/7. I
Right.
did my own job.
And when they don't do anything about it, you go to social media
However,
Or YouTube.
or YouTube, I guess.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I'm like the board president.
It's a lack of direction, lack of leadership. It's a lack of leadership, and that's the problem.
I am like the board president.
Okay, I'm talking about this board.
I said, I am just like him, meaning my sentiments are the same.
No, I'm saying I'm not comfortable with this board leadership, period. I don't like talking hypothetical, I'm sorry.
I'm not talking
I talk facts.
hypothetical, ma'am, and I'm not gonna argue. I don't do that. What I'm saying to you is, if you have concerns, that's fine. We all have concerns, but there are proper protocols in which you air your concerns. You guys, you went to Ms. Laurent, Ms. Byrne, nothing got done. You put pen to paper. You write the school board president and say, this is what has occurred, so on and so forth. If you're not, but here's my thing at the same token. If every option to you all, what I'm hearing right now is, with this little girl's situation, unless this is done with her, we're not gonna be satisfied. If you have bigger issues of policies not being followed, then that's a meeting that you request with Ms. Burke, and Ms. Principal said, why?
That's why we're here.
I teach,
why we're
but you're
here.
not, but this is a public comment, so it's not an argumentative session. If Ms. Burke, Ms. Laurent, again, I'm gonna say it. If you guys do not have restorative sessions in place, if you don't have lifespan interviews in place when situations happen, I'm gonna encourage you as a parent and an educator to put them in place. And if there's training that needs to be done, I got a wealth of colleagues as well as myself that can help you guys out with this. Because these type of things cannot keep reoccurring. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Dot.
you.
Derek Dorn.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys taking my question. I was out of town. I work out of town when most of this happened, and I got a call from my wife. My wife, along with some life coaches, was trying to put on a program at Whiteside Middle School called Girls on the Run. It's an after-school program to get young ladies out and exercise, teach them self-confidence and discipline, things of this nature. I get a call from my wife that said the program cannot be held on Whiteside school property because one of the coaches made a comment on social media that directly conflicted with school district policy. So I asked who it was, and I think it was my wife. And I'm going to back her because I think every child has the right to self-defense. And I hope if my girls in school, if God forbid they ever got into any kind of a physical altercation, they wouldn't sit there and take a pummeling. They would stand up and defend themselves. And I know the consequences of that, and they're aware of the consequences of that. My problem is the girls on the run. I mean, a lot of us parents can disagree with school policies. But to cancel a program that was going forward where children have paid $50 and $100 to take part in this program, they've lined up coaches. Okay, the coaches, the national program have all called the school and tried to leave messages for Miss Laurent. There's no response. There hasn't even been a response out to the students that have signed up saying it's not going to be held at Whiteside School. I know it's been a busy last couple weeks. I understand that. But you still have to be proactive, not reactive. Whether it's with the cases up front, with the children, or with an after-school program. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that girls on the run can't be. and be a part of the school and give the girls after school something to do. You know, they're not getting in trouble. It's a supervised program with life coaches that are into fitness, nutrition, health and welfare. It's a good, positive program for little girls, and it ought to be here. And if my wife made the comment that she thought, you know, somebody has the right to defend themselves, if that's not, or if that is the only reason that that program isn't allowed in this district, it's a travesty. It's a sham. That somebody can't have a differing of opinion with policy and they're shut out completely. That's wrong.
So enforced.
And I asked that the board, and I asked Miss Laurent, I asked Miss Burke, please consider, not only on behalf of my wife or my daughters that we're gonna run in it after school, but for all the other kids that have the opportunity to take a positive step. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Dorn. Jacob Ballard.